Brian Kenzie on Q101, and we welcome to the studio. Jamie Piven is here. He's on the show just about 3 weeks ago talking about the shows coming up at the Vic, and now he's here. I'd like to think we did something decent enough on the phone, because you were tremendous talking to you on the phone, that it said, hey, I actually want to come in and see them face to face. Is that how it happened?
That's the only reason I'm here. I love early mornings. I wanted to see your beautiful face, man.
That's a big lie.
No. I'm just going to stare at you awkwardly this entire time, man.
Whoa, that is an awkward
My entire
look.
life is peaking. So thank you guys, man. This is amazing.
2 stand-up shows at the Vic this Friday, and due to popular demand, they added the second show at the Vic, so that'll be a 10 p.m. show, 7 p.m. and 10 p.m., and I'll be filming the stand-up special during both shows that evening, which you said on the air with us you might do it, but now you're definitely doing it.
1,000% doing it. I'm from Chicago, as you guys know, and there's no way I'm not going to film it here. I have to, and I love the Vic, and it's, all roads lead to the Vic on Friday night. I can't wait to unpack it, and also because, to be totally honest with you, to do radio and stuff like this, and to have people go, so what can we expect from you Friday night at the Vic? And for me to go, well, I'm going to do some observational stuff, and then having a guy basically explain why he's funny it is torture, let's be honest, because you can't win. It's not funny. So I was like, you know what? I love what I do. It's so fun. I'm making people laugh. And they're saying things like, after my shows, we didn't know you were this funny. And, and by the way, I love that. I mean, some people would see that, as a dig, but after 80 movies and whatever. But for me, no, seriously, man.
That's some very funny ones. Very good.
Yeah. To me, growing up in Evanston at the Piven Theater and then first job being at Second City and having my background be improv and acting and then stand-up is the logical next step. So that the fact that people don't know and then they see what I do and it really reaches them means everything to me. Now, I'll be a lot funnier because I'm not a morning person, and there's coffee coming in, which is exciting.
There's coffee coming in, yes.
Yeah. And pure Bolivian cocaine, let's be honest. I'm gonna
Yeah, how about telling jokes about flying to us right now? That'd be great. To show us that you're funny. That'd be awesome.
By the way, I saw Brian cross that question off his sheet. I'm not going to ask him what to expect tonight.
Don't want to do that one.
I mean, listen, the comic in me goes, how about some jokes? You think I'm going to come out naked and light myself on fire? What can you expect? How about some goddamn jokes? Right? What can we expect? Is water wet? And what is the opposite of day, night? It's a bit obvious. Yeah.
Is it hard to do? Because you obviously have your set, you're filming, so it's going to be similar at 7 and then at 10. Is it weird to copy and paste and go out and just do the show again?
Not only won't I do that, but even if I did do that, it wouldn't be weird because you have to understand, I've spent my entire life copying and pasting. If you think about this, because I've got my script, and with Entourage, everyone was like, "Oh, so you were just improvising, right?" And the reality is, every word was written, and I've been acting since I was 8 years old, and what I have to do is nothing special or unique, but you take all that language and you run it until you own it and you're not even thinking about it. And then you're so in the moment that whatever happens. So you have total freedom within those confines, which is you're going to say every word. Do you know what I mean? So that art is essentially, in certain lanes like acting, cutting and pasting, but making it feel totally free as if it's being improvised. So that's one of the many tricks with stand-up. But at the same time, the great thing about it is if someone, yells out, "Let's hug it out, bitch!" Bro, I'm a douchebag because of you, bro. In the middle of my joke, I got to pivot and go, "Thank you, sir." Oh, my God. Do you have Tourette's? What's going on? All right, you're the real Ari. That's amazing, because I'm not. I'm an actor from Evanston, sir. Do you know what I mean? So no matter what, it's going to be different. And I would never equate what I do with Robin Williams, but there are very few prolific actors who transitioned into stand-up, and he's one of them, and we don't know a lot of other ones, and because it takes so much time to become good at it, and you have to have that time. So I just kind of dedicated myself to this, been doing like 200, 250 shows a year.
Wow,
yeah,
good
just,
Lord.
just like 5 to 8 shows a week.
I saw one of your first stand-ups in Philly 7 years ago. It was one of the first ones you did at the Fillmore there. And, not the Fillmore. It was damn it, I can't remember now. Punchline or something like that.
Philly Punchline.
Yeah, but I saw that.
Love that.
That was like 7 years ago. So I can't imagine, like you said, doing 250 a year for 7 years now, roughly, depending on movie projects and TV stuff you're doing. It's got to be an amazing grind.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even call it a grind. It's really fun because you get up there and you're just laughing, and we all need to laugh right now. We all need a little bit of an escape, and and then material just comes to you, and you get to, like, to your question, is it going to change? It changes every day. I'm going to have to talk about the Chicago Pope. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the fact that he's from the south side of Chicago, and my fantasy is, he's got that really hard accent,
The Pope.
Oh, guys, you do a nice job. Listen, we got to go inward and go deep. And speaking of deep, here's some deep dish pizza. Guys from Giordano's, let's do it. We're doing a nice job. And by the way, to you guys, that this sounds like I've done my Chicago accent to, like, I played Mr. Selfridge on PBS, and I played a guy from Chicago that actually invented shopping. He ended up in the 11 people that know what I'm talking about. Because little did I know, PBS has no money to advertise. So I went from Entourage to Mr. Selfridge. Anyway.
That's rough.
I did my Chicago accent for the Brits, and they said to me, that's the worst Irish accent I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, my gosh.
No, but then I realized there were so many Irish that landed in Chicago, and a Chicago accent is a homogenized version of an Irish accent, which is crazy. Anyway, this is the worst TED Talk you've ever heard, and I will be boring you on Friday night just like this, kids.
Oh, it's great. 2 shows. Again, one just added at the Vic this Friday, so make sure you check it out. If Entourage was made today and Ari was forced to represent like a TikTok influencer, that's what it would be at this point, right? There was no way.
Wait a minute. You don't even know how brilliant that is. Thank you for saying that.
Oh,
no, that's a great.
Okay, done.
No, you're absolutely right. He would be representing social media stars.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right.
It wouldn't be an actor at this point.
Well,
Ari would probably get it together to buy TikTok, actually.
Exactly. He'd be representing influencers. That is amazing. And Lloyd would be his politically correct consultant. Ari, you got the wrong pronoun. Well, his pronouns are has and been. He's a has been. Never been. I don't have TikTok, ticky-tock.
Oh, man.
That would be just genius. That would be amazing. No, but he would have to master, like, that whole new lane. It would, listen, the reality is, look, you guys, I'll be honest. I'm on the streets. I walk everywhere. I got flyers. You saw I have flyers. I hand out flyers. I'm selling a whole new show, 1,000 tickets in a week. And, it's hard to get the word out. People don't know this. So I get to meet people on the street, and I see how excited they are to see me and how they start quoting lines. Even, kids in their late teens, early 20s, they started binge watching it during the pandemic. So we have a whole new audience that is clamoring for this, and I don't even think the platforms have caught up, because I see what people want, and the platforms, I don't know if they know. Like, people are like, oh, you couldn't do it today. It's too raunchy. It's like, do you understand that that's exactly what people want? People just want to laugh, and they want to laugh at all the madness that's going on right now. And so I think a show like that actually would do really well.
Well, yeah, Entourage, Sopranos, and you might throw even like Rescue Me and Breaking Bad, all in that era changed TV. Breaking Bad was a little later, but still, all that changed what people do today without question, and what they're able to do.
Yeah, you'd be willing to reprise that role for the new take on it and be the TikTok influencer's agent?
Well, I just think, I really mean that. That's a brilliant idea in the way that it's a very organic way to address how much things have changed, because who is vital right now at this moment? It's those people, boxers are taking shots at Jake Paul he figured out a way on YouTube to find an audience. Say what you will about him. He's many things, but he's not lazy.
Yeah.
He's out there making 116 videos a day, and he's got enough money, to take all the stem cells and hire the best, trainers that money can buy, and he's out in Puerto Rico saving taxes. So hate him all you want, but he's doing something.
Jeremy Piven in studio, as we're just talking about, Entourage, but is it possible that Old School gets a prequel to understand why Dean Pritchard is called Cheese?
You know what? Selfishly, I yes, a prequel, but wouldn't it be great? Listen, Todd Phillips has said that, he's nervous about doing comedy again because of the times. But the reality is, and I'll address this in my show, I just think that, with this new administration and the way things are going and seeing which way the people went, given the choice, I think people have relaxed a little bit, and I think what they're doing, and I could be wrong, is addressing the reality of where the business is, as opposed to operating out of fear. And going, I don't want to offend anyone. They're going, well, hold on. The roast of Tom Brady was the #1 watched piece of content on Netflix, and that was the raunchiest thing you've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get up on lineups with Nikki Glazer, in L.A., they're very spoiled in L.A. You'll get like Jim Jeffries and Nikki and all these 6, killers in one night. And she worked her butt off and crushed the Brady roast because she was ready.
It was unbelievable,
Yeah.
her thing.
I mean, some of her jokes were just, I love it when people are like, come on, bro, women aren't funny. It's like, well, Nikki's like the funniest person in the game.
Yeah.
And she's genius. And it was raunchy as hell, and everyone watched it. So at a certain point, they're going to have to go, well, hold on, what do the people actually want? And you got to give it to them. So that's my long-winded way of saying, yes, I would do it. And I think a show that's been around for 20 years could be very current.
Absolutely. Jeremy Piven, 2 stand-up shows at the Vic this Friday. We'll come back and chat a little bit more, including Case's movie review Friday of one of your movies. You might not have thought, so Case over here has not seen a lot of movies. Now he has, but previously hadn't seen a bunch of just not your movies, but any movies.
I'm 26. I would say for the first 25 years of my life, I hadn't paid attention to movies.
You are one beat-up looking 26-year-old. I say that with love.
No, I get
Bro, you look 42. No, I say that with love.
No, I feel it.
Yeah, he's feeling the love.
What has gone wrong, man?
Where do you start?
He doesn't even drink alcohol.
Yeah, I don't drink alcohol.
You don't even drink?
I've never had a sip of alcohol in my life.
No, but you're going to look that way for the next 50 years.
God willing.
You're going to look amazing.
So it's a good thing. It's like
it's a
crap
great
now.
thing. He's very lucky.
I got out in front of it, you say. 20 years from now, nobody's going to go, whew, he's aged. They're going
to go, you look amazing.
So you won't believe what movie he called the Jeremy Piven vehicle that he reviewed on Friday. Of all your resume is ridiculous, but the movie he chose to review, we'll have that when we come back here in just 6 minutes with Jeremy Piven. Oh, what a joy. Jeremy Piven in studio with us, playing the Vic Theater. 2 shows. I saw that was a weird start clapping and stop clap thing.
You weren't confident with it.
Well, I was hoping everybody would join in, and the room's full of people, and no one joined in. I could do fake applause somewhere, but I don't want to do that.
No.
2 stand-up shows at the Vic this Friday, and 1 added, of course, because there was an early one. That's when I'll be going to at 7. 10 o'clock, there's another show, filming the special here. Get tickets at jamusa.com. Go grab the tickets there. We have a link on our Q101.com anyway to make it easier, our socials. So
it's just going to be so cool because, anyone that, listen, I mean this, whether you love me or hate me, show up. Because, no, seriously. Because, it's funny, we were just talking about Jared Leto before we came on here. And he's one of those guys who...
That was off the air, by the way, but it's okay. We've said it on the air. You can say what you want.
I've been pretty open about my disappointment. It's okay.
No, sorry, I'm gonna celebrate him for a second. I apologize to you guys. But I know you're on the fence about him.
We'll allow it.
No. I did a movie actually with him and Jake Gyllenhaal. Called Highway that no one's ever seen, and which is too bad because we did this film and it was incredible. And it was so, speaking of raunchy, it was so raunchy they couldn't release it. So I don't know where it went, but my God, was that fun. Anyway, the reason I bring Jared up is because he's one of the few people, if you think about this, when certain people that you know as an actor, as a musician, whatever, you know them that way, and then suddenly me. Okay, take me for an example. Oh, we know Jeremy. He's a great actor. We love him. Oh, right, Ari Gold and Entourage. Yeah, no, but I also, well, didn't he play the gay Versace salesman in whatever? Okay, yeah, in Rush Hour, right? Oh, he's doing stand-up. No, I don't think he can do stand-up. So my point to you is, Jared pulled a 180 and was a very prolific actor and then became a rock star.
Yeah.
And that's what he's always been. It's what he's always wanted to do. And he successfully transitions, not into being a woman. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But what I'm saying is it's really hard. It's really hard. Jeremy Renner is a musician. You know, it's hard for people to wrap their minds around him listening to his music. It's maybe very hard for people to wrap their minds around me doing stand-up. And yet, growing up, you could have gone and seen me at Second City, which is my first job out of college with Chris Farley in the 90s. Improvising and doing comedy on the fly and essentially doing everything you need to be a stand-up. Mm-hmm. So I have, and not to make this all about me, but let's be honest, it's all about me.
Well, you're here.
We're interviewing you. It's okay.
We've been doing
Enough about me. What do you guys think about me?
It would just be about us if you weren't here, so might as well be about you that you're here.
You're right. But so I guess, my point is like, listen, I got up Saturday night, jumped up on stage at the Laugh Factory here and in the middle of a lineup, and it's really, really fun to me to perform and surprise people. And, their look, and then seeing them realize, oh, my God, okay, this is what this guy does. And so, again, whether you think I can do it or you can't or you have no clue, show up at the Vic and we're going to laugh our asses off. And you get to be a part of history, and certainly my history, which is I'm going to film this for my special, and I'm doing it in my home. I have a lot to unpack, and it's going to be, I'm not going to lie to you, it's also going to be emotional.
Therapy session?
Well, that's what stand-up is. Chappelle said to me, if you can't be funny, be interesting. You know what I mean? Be interesting, and he said, man, come on, dude, if you're going to bomb at the right time. That's what he said to me. And I said, man, thank you for standing up for yourself with Netflix. And he goes, no, the only reason they kept me is I'm bigger than Netflix, bitch. No, sorry. I'm bigger than Squid Games, bitch. This is what happens. Guys, I haven't, you know what? I just woke up, and so I can't. My brain's not working.
You're doing great.
I'm ruining.
I think it's working. You sound good.
Barely.
Yeah.
Just barely making it.
So the coffee, it helps.
That's going to be the name of my special.
Well,
just barely making it.
Since your brain's not working great, maybe we can catch you a little bit. Is there anybody you don't like working with in Hollywood? You have all these people you've loved working with. You have all these great stories. Is there anyone that you're like, no, thank you?
You know what? I made this clear on my podcast. I interviewed Malcolm McDowell, who played opposite me, played Sloane's father, basically, and was my nemesis. And I made it clear to him that, he really, really, that it was awkward, working with him, whatever he was giving me. And he just said, well, I was trying to twist the knife and get a performance out of you. And I was like, well, I think the performance was there, my man. I really was locked into the character. It was like season 5 when he showed up.
Yeah.
And it was like, literally, and I'd won 3 straight Emmys. Who's counting me? And he thought he would help me, with my character. And so I just was very honest with him. And listen, he's great at what he does, and we had incredible chemistry. Growing up on the stages here, one of the reasons, and I'm not just saying this because I'm in Chicago, but one of the reasons why Chicago actors, I think, have so much respect is because we grow up in this community where people show up. And so, there are 99-seat black box theaters that people are showing up at, and we get to perform for an audience. And you guys don't know what that means to us. It makes us better. We get our reps. And then so when we go, you should know, in Hollywood, people are like, oh, he's a Chicago actor. Oh, okay. And they take you seriously because the community supports us. And from the time I was 8 years old, I was on stage. And so, I didn't need Malcolm helping me. Okay? Brother, I got this. Believe me, I got this. And so, we kind of, it was an awkward moment on How You Live in Jay Piven, my podcast, because, I said to him, I hated you because of what he was doing to me. And he thought he was trying to help me. So that's. But listen, the reality is, no matter who you're working with or how you feel about them, you've got to do your best work, and you got to try to get the best work out of them.
And that's what he did by turning the knife in you.
He was helping you.
The scenes were incredible though, so you couldn't tell there was any kind of that going on. So that's fine.
Well, no, he would say things and try to rile me up and take shots at me.
Ugh.
And by the way, I was already ready to go. You know what I mean? Like, I grew up on the stage.
Yeah.
It's I'm so comfortable and ready to go. And he even goosed me, so it was like I was just ready to pop. And I didn't need it, but anyway, you guys are sending me down the wrong path, by the way.
Kenzie, keep going.
Sorry.
Kenzie, you're
Malcolm
asking me
McDowell's-
to out people.
Malcolm McDowell, 1.
Okay,
Who's
name
2?
all the assholes in your life.
Listen, hey, we said Jared Leto was difficult for us, okay? It was fair. It
Yeah,
was an
we're-
even
we're
split.
I'm
even
saying
now.
on the air, you just outed yourself.
No,
See what happened?
You
It's
left
good.
there.
Kenzie?
We're 1 for 1. We're even
Okay.
on outing people.
Well, give us another one. No, kidding.
No, Jamie Foxx is not difficult. Jamie Foxx is probably the most talented guy I've ever worked with in my life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, by far. Just because Jamie's one of those guys where he's a true anomaly in the way that, he's a brilliant, unstoppable actor, and his voice is incredible, and he's a stand-up comic, and he's an athlete. It's just like, well, come on, man, what's going on?
Yeah.
And he wrote and directed this movie, and he and I starred opposite each other, called All-Star Weekend, and he's still holding on to it for some reason. And it's just this funny, raunchy comedy. It's like, come on, Jamie, let it go. Just let it go.
So it's been sitting done and supposed to come out. Well, I looked it up real quick. It says this year, allegedly.
Let's go. I mean, for the love of God, Jamie, let it go. All-Star Weekend. I'm a character that he and I are both from Cleveland, Ohio. We're repo guy. We repossess cars, and I'm obsessed with LeBron James. He's obsessed with LeBron. I'm obsessed with Steph Curry. We're on our way to the All-Star game. We're broke, but we're gonna make it over there, and madness ensues. Robert Downey Jr. is in it.
Oh, wow.
And
Gosh.
Benicio del Toro, Eva Longoria, Gerard Butler plays the villain. It's like, come on, man, just let it
Leonidas
go.
is in it too. Good Lord.
But it's supposedly, listen, it's really raunchy. It's a raunchy comedy, but guys, that's what people want. So come on,
When
Jamie.
did you film it? How long have you been waiting?
1923. We filmed it. It's a silent film. We do a lot of great mime. This is how long ago we filmed it. I mean, thank God Jamie and I we don't age that terribly, so we kind of look the same. You're looking at me like, bro, I don't know.
Yeah, you ripped on Case, so
Come on now.
I don't age like you, bro.
Thank God for that.
The way he was looking at me just now. No, if you pull up a picture of Jamie, this is how long ago we were filming this. When we were filming it, we were filming Nights, and he was elected the first time.
Oh man.
Yeah,
my
that's how long
gosh.
it was.
So like 8 or 9 years ago, it's done.
It's been a long time, man.
Damn.
But, Downey looks the same. Eva looks the same. We're all good. And also, LeBron is still, and Steph are still doing it. They're ageless.
Problem is, LeBron was on the Cavs when that movie was filmed. He's on the
Yeah.
Lakers now.
Exactly.
You're gonna have to do some reshoots.
A couple.
No, I say you do it like a period piece.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's no different than Downton Abbey at that point. It's just a period piece.
People used to ride
Exactly.
horses. What doesn't matter? You know what I mean? Whatever.
Exactly.
hilarious.
Stagecoach LeBron.
That's right.
Yeah, it's fine.
So Case reviewed movies. So we're here with Jeremy Piven and Entourage, Ari Gold, Old School. You're the voice in Cars, Harv and Cars.
Shout out.
I love Judgment Night, Black Hawk Down. There's movies, singles. I talked about how you stole a movie with a very short span when we talked to you the last time. And there's another movie Case has been watching, and he does movie reviews, but he had, up until a year and a half ago hadn't seen anything, not your movies, but any movies.
So over the last year,
He'd seen Boys in the Hood, and that was it.
Boys in the Hood and Norbit, the Eddie Murphy movie. Those were really the only two that I had seen.
Oh, okay. That's very random. I like that.
But over the last year, I watched Jaws for the first time. I watched Top Gun for the first time. I
Pulp
watched all
Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, Shawshank, all these movies for the first time.
That's amazing.
So we know, you're coming in. I go, okay, Friday at 8 o'clock, I got to watch a Jeremy Piven movie. What's it going to be? I pull up the old IMDb. When you called in, a lot of people were sharing their PCU memories, how they love that movie so much. Brian was raving about your performance in Singles. And I go, well, wait a minute, hold on. He's in the movie Heat. I've been wanting to watch Heat. De
That
Niro,
was one
Pacino,
quick moment.
Kilmer, Piven. What an all-star lineup. You're in Heat. I watched this movie last week for the first time I watched Heat.
Great movie.
I go, surely you had to be in medical school and dropped out. Your performance is so believable as the character Dr. Bob. I got to say, it is your crowning achievement. I've seen every episode of Entourage. I've seen the Entourage movie.
And I look younger now than when I was in that movie.
Well, you've got a mustache just like me. That's what I really appreciated.
In the movie. Now he's got a full beard.
So let's be honest. Here's what I have one scene in that movie, which is I did 40 movies before Entourage, and that was an example of the Chicago spirit, which is you never give up. And I remember auditioning for Michael Mann, another Chicago guy with a hardcore Chicago accent. Okay, Dr. Bob, let's go. Let's give it a shot here. So I was sitting in the waiting room with all the other actors getting ready to audition for Dr. Bob.
Do you remember anybody else who was there?
I can't name names because I'm about to tell you a story, and if I don't want to out them, because there are people out there that, outside of the Malcolm McDowell story. Okay, yeah, I did out him. Okay, so I'm sitting there, and there was an actor that broke, and he cracked, and because it was over 2 hours. You're just sitting there waiting to audition, and in your mind, you just go, look, if you can just sit here and just wait. At some point, they're going to open that door, and you're going to get your shot. And if you beat all these guys out, you get to do a scene with Robert De Niro. So I just held tight, and that's what you got to do. And this guy snapped, and he took the casting assistant and threw him up against the wall. And at that moment, and at that moment, the door opened, and the casting director was there, and it was just this horrible, awkward moment. And so I went in and, did my audition for Michael Mann. He goes, well, that was good. That was good. Nice job. I got to talk to Bob about this De Niro. And the casting director goes, you don't have to talk to Bob. Just hire the guy. He's great. You know what I mean? And so I got that role. And by the way, that's an example of what I did. I just started improvising. They were supposed to yell cut when he says, give me your shirt. Give me your shirt. And I just cut, and they don't yell cut. So I just go, my daughter gave me this shirt. And I can you swear? You guys gonna
don't swear.
Okay, don't swear. Because that's all De Niro did was swear.
Yeah.
Right in the scene.
Yeah, no De Niro impression right now.
Yeah. Ooh, good face impression. Good face.
Yeah. Okay, they can't see it. All right.
We'll do a video up later of this interview, so they'll see it there.
There you go. So basically, that is an example of the 40 movies I did before Entourage, which is you got a little scrap. And the Chicago spirit is you just get in there and you're ready to go and you can improvise and you just expand it. And as I told you guys, I won the Fresh Face of the Year award at 40 years old. And I said, there's nothing fresh about my face. But thank you so much for this award.
And so Case billed that, by the way, that review as the Jeremy Piven vehicle Heat.
You kind of steal the movie. It's a really emotional scene. You and Kilmer together? Oh, my
God. Well, this
So
guy
good.
did all that for one scene.
So good.
So you never saw anything that I actually did other than Dr. Bob.
He's seen old school.
Entourage. I
And
do
Entourage.
love Entourage.
Oh, okay, there
but
you
that's
go.
because I had only paid attention to TV. Like when you called in, we were talking on the phone. I asked you about Larry Sanders Show, which is not a normal show for a 26-year-old to ask about. I know it doesn't look like it in my face, but
Right.
Well, you look old enough. You look like crap.
You
is what
look
he
like
said.
you do watch it.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
but I had only cared about TV up until a year ago.
So there's nothing currently that you're watching? Because that's what I'm hearing a lot is people are like, man, we can't find anything.
In terms of current TV?
Yeah.
Well, the problem is that nothing is appointment viewing. So, like, I want to watch.
Exactly. That's my point.
I want to watch the Nathan Fielder show, The Rehearsal. I liked the first season. I haven't seen the second season. It's on HBO right now.
Yeah.
But, like everything else, haven't gotten around to it.
Case's anger being 26 actually yearns, and now White Lotus did this, where you release it week to week like the old days.
It was great.
Right.
And when you drop a whole thing out, like The Bear, which we love to death here in Chicago, but when you drop the whole thing, it's like, oh, that's too much. I can't. It's too much responsibility. I got to wait till I have enough time to watch all 10 in a row, like a Saturday, just finish it, as opposed to, why can't I space it out Sunday to Sunday or whatever? Having all of them accessible at the moment.
TV wasn't broken. I don't know why you needed to fix it. Binge watching has not done any good for anybody, I don't think.
A current show that you would be great on, though, Mr. Piven, is I would love to see you on The Studio. Have you seen that on Apple TV? You'd be so fantastic on that because it's obviously a lot of actors' episodes.
Yeah, thank you for that, Kenzie. I appreciate it. Yeah, Seth Rogen and everyone is kind of behind the scenes of the of the studio system. That's something that's a great call, and listen, I'm ready to go. What's so funny is that a comic said to me, he goes, you're on the road so much and you're doing stand-up every night. You're going to be a better actor because of stand-up. And I was like, what are you talking? It just didn't make any sense. And man, was he right. It was so interesting because, who knew that just like, performing is performing. And the reality is acting is a momentum sport. And a lot of actors, you can't act all the time. You got to get all these people to sign off. The money's got to be there. You got to work the dates out, all these variables. Stand up, I'm going to go over to Zany's tonight, jump up on the mic and just do my thing and tell 11 straight dick jokes. And everybody else, right? You know what I mean? And so I have no rust on me. And so when I watch this transition, Kenzie,
get ready.
Yeah, get
Sit
ready.
down.
This is going to be flawless.
This is going to be amazing, I can tell.
So I had no rust on me, so that when I shoot the best work of my life, the performance that I had my sister adapt and direct it, that my mother, who passed away 2 months ago, get ready for the emotions coming. Yeah. So she gave me the performance, a short story by Arthur Miller out of The New Yorker, and I had my sister adapt and direct it, and it's the best work of my life, by far. Now, isn't it weird that stand-up also kept me ready so that I when I went into this, I was like, oh, wait a minute, I'm loose. I'm ready to go. Now, I had been studying tap for 10 years to prepare for the role, so that helped.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, because
10
it took...
years?
10 years, man! 10 years! 10 years! 10 years! 10 years! Chris Cusack. That was a funny scene. So, yeah, the reason it was 10 years is because we couldn't get the money. So every year you try to get the money because it's hard to do an independent period piece because they're costly. Every indie movie you're seeing in Nora, one of my favorite movies in the world, it's a contemporary movie. You can go shoot it for a cost. We've got cars from 1937. We shot it in Slovakia, blah, blah, blah. So it took us 10 years to get the money, and by the time we shot it, I was ready. So you kind of have to trust the universe that and be on that timing as opposed to whatever you want. So yeah, like right now, listen, the studio, you're right. There are some things that I could like effortlessly kind of jump into. So from your mouth to God's ears.
Amen.
Going back to Heat for a second, Denise.
Oh, we're back to Heat.
We're going back.
Back to
Oh
Heat.
my God.
You did not think you would talk about Heat this much.
He was
I know that.
done with it. So Denise checked in from Piatone and said that Jeremy Piven was on the mound at the Cubs game this weekend longer than he was in Heat.
What a great point. Thank you very much. Oh my God, it was not my finest hour. I'm really ashamed, and I apologize to you guys. Listen, I warmed up. I was ready to go. I looked at the footage. It's humiliating. The ball came out of my hand. Listen, all the players said, Ian Happ, all these guys, they all worked with me before. They talked me through it, and I bless them. I was overcoached because I was thinking too much. It's not their fault. It's my fault. That was not my finest hour, and I thank you. It was humiliating. If you look at the comments, it's the worst feedback I've gotten in my life, and I'm ashamed. And I'm going to make it up to all of you Friday night at the Vic.
At least the Cubs won, so it's all good.
No, they looked amazing.
Yeah.
They looked amazing, by the way.
And you can't, all the comments are from people who will never get asked to do it, so you can't feel that way.
No, but bless all of them, and I love the honesty, and leave it to someone from Chicago to make a good joke.
Piatone specifically.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it that I had more time on that mound, humiliating myself.
Jeremy Piven, 2 stand-up shows at the Vic this Friday, and due to popular demand, they added the second show at the Vic. That will be at 10 p.m. I'll be at the 7 p.m. show, the early show, and filming the stand-up special during both shows that evening. Tickets at jamusa.com.
If they mention you guys in Q101, let's give them a free meet and greet. So if they mention it at the will call, so you don't have to pay for VIP, because VIP is gone, but forget about that, you guys. Every seat, there's not a bad seat in the house.
Hell yes.
Yeah. We got to get Kenzie well. And we got to get her out.
Yeah.
I know she's sick. She's sick right now.
Wait a minute, if I
She's
say
sick like Jared Leto was sick.
Yeah, I know.
So Kenzie has to say, I heard it on Q101
I
at the
heard
door.
it on
Hey, nice to meet a fan.
Can I say that?
Thanks for coming in, man. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you guys for having me. I'll see you next time after you see my stand-up.
Yeah.
And we'll circle back around. Thank you so
Hell
much.
yeah, coming anytime you want.
The Q101 Morning Crew, broadcasting live from the James & Sons Diamond Ring Studios.
This is Q101 WKQX HD1 Chicago, a Cumulus media station.